I have no in-department understanding of this place in certain, for to speak totally objectively. However, I do recognize the same conditions upon both cultures, despite one culture known to be one in power and dominance, which is only propaganda in Babylonian America, mostly asserted of those who are not considered by the established prominence as royalty. The fundamentals of power bear truly no race nor culturally related status in terms of white or black. This is rich and poor, royalty and the peasants. This is all that is felt and perceived, and it is filtered into the environment and atmosphere as a constant euphoria which creates a somnolence which shuts down the mind, but not the constantly activating mind. Human being and subhuman beings is the content. All of this is based upon the ingrained perception rooted in material wealth, while in fact those who hold this great wealth very seldom materialize an avid relation to moral decency. It is all phantomized in material glitter and rehearsed mannerism asserted to be natural. Entertainment at its wealthiest. This system is established and it's designed this common understanding as it is accepted within the people humbly without any conflict. To not be successful or even productive is in your own efforts to either succeed or fail of your own personal intention in your living, which is in fact based upon your own will to succeed or lacking the will to succeed, which in turn reveals a will to fail. All is in will and your desire to exist contently in joy or in sorrow in a life felt to be unfulfilled despite your dreams and petty ambitions provoked by the established powers who imbued those dreams. There are plenty formulas that are able to materialize if the present condition is attentively observed and seen for what it is, and also seeing the condition in its formation in regard to how it has treated you personally and its opportunities, and lacking in that area for the sake of enslavement, keeping you from being free to your particular understanding. We have been educated through the centuries to conclude upon someone else's perceptions and not our own, based upon our natural instincts for intelligence, peace and harmony. It's in the language injected inside of us through the plight of slavery as well as other ventures. The English language itself is limited to the natural non-English as well as the less fortunate English Europeans, who are also purposely educated limited for the sake of containment within status. It is about power and the established weak because of those in power. Coming to see things as this established design for the sake of limiting the common human being who ventures into areas of living hoping to make his or her condition better, we come to know that there is something inside that has been imbued in us through those before us, as they have been made limited for the sake of being our examples, so that we as an offspring will be also limited. This formula exists in every community. An intelligent child who is curious of the world and the conditions questions the conditions as a whole, because the child has not been corrupted and therefore animated with religion, race prejudice and politics. This is most important, because a child's mind sees the good and the bad in one movement. However, can understand where they should balance as for the goodness of cultural evolution and the goodness in inner growth globally. The child wants to live in peace, and for some reason coming into adulthood only imply coming into a world that is in danger of conflict and dissension. This is the case in most regions. Where adults fail to see clearly, the children have to suffer the same conditions. And then there is warfare every 20 to 50 years that most never ask for its essential reasons. After the blood has been spilled because of many factions' refusal to bond their efforts together to come to a resolution for the said goyim, For some eccentric reasoning, mankind has felt the need for war and death for a period of time until people who are supposed to be efficiently educated decide to put to death their childish evils and again sit at the tables together, so that children pulled from the battlefields and back into their homes with their families as what is left of their limbs and their minds. This very short illustration is brought forth to simply reveal of the very vital importance of sound reasoning and less debating. Some have fell in love with debating and arguing when it only serves as a tool for further conflict and ensured enemies over information established for that effect. There is in reality a universal intelligence that is waiting to be utilized, that is able to penetrate through the pains and the sorrows, and will, no matter of what others may feel or think, offer the sound solutions that in time will materialize a world that has been promised inside of all of us if we would just look inside long enough without the clutters and pains of the past. This intelligence is in harmony with compassion and has been for many centuries in need of release and rejected because of the ignorant activating within this government system which supports their moral dysfunctions. I have decided to embrace it despite who fail to understand or willingly choose to not to understand because of their feelings of hurt and frustration or just even blunt hatred. It is time to know that what is understood as the status of waking up to consciousness is only a part of the journey. It has much more meaning than what most in our community has grasped for to feel important, because lacking this before in their former living experience. Once many understand that being conscious of particular information is not enlightenment, but just another construction to dwell in of the addiction of feeling the need to belong to something outside of yourself in peace, the same as any religious or political formula for stagnation and containment, then the mind instantly breaks the chains of limitations and is able to probe into any area of the life experience which needs investigation for resolution. David Anthony Brayboy.